Now they'll move it to Axe. Flip in the middle, don't score. The roommates. Bridge to Mormando.
This episode is proudly sponsored by Edvative Learning. If you are an education major or anyone considering a career in teaching, you won't want to miss this. Edvative Learning is an innovative educational consulting company that is revolutionizing the way aspiring teachers prepare for their careers. As a proud sponsor of the Lax Lounge podcast and Cabrini Lacrosse, Edvative is here to help you take your teaching aspirations to new heights. Edvative offers a comprehensive one-on-one coaching program tailored specifically for those interested in entering the teaching profession. With Edvative's coaching program, you'll receive personalized guidance and support to help you succeed in your career. They provide mock interviews, guided job searches, resume optimization, and much more. Their team of experienced educators and career coaches will equip you with the skills and knowledge needed to excel in the competitive world of teaching. One of the most incredible aspects of Edvative's coaching program is their guarantee. Yes, you heard it right. They guarantee at least one job offer within the first 3 months of coaching. That's an amazing opportunity you don't want to miss. For just $250 per month, Edvative guarantees that you will receive at least one job offer. Imagine the peace of mind knowing that your investment in coaching will lead to tangible results. It's an offer you can't afford to pass up. So whether you're a current education major, a recent graduate, or someone looking to make a career change into teaching, Edvative Learning is here to support you and guide you in every step of the way. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to secure your job as a teacher. Visit their website at www.edvative.com to learn more about their coaching program and how they can help you kickstart your teaching career. Once again, that is www.edvative.com.
What's up, everybody?
We're in a great mood here, just talking behind the scenes. That's one of my favorite parts when the intro runs. Like, we can talk on our microphone, and you guys don't hear us. So we're just, like, chopping it up, preparing everything, and then when it flips over to us, like, every once in a while, somebody will say a great joke, and Nick is a very funny guy, so he just said something that, it tickled me. But welcome back into the Lax Lounge. We got a pretty fun episode in store for you. Nice little week recap. It's been a great week. We got some fun stories to tell, but first, here's one thing that we have to do to start this episode. Nick, what do we got?
We got the Fast Five.
The Fast Five questions. So I made the questions last week. Also, I don't know for our YouTube video viewers, we did switch the orientation of our cameras.
Thanks,
Shout
Mom.
out Tracy Mormando for calling it out, because we sit in a way where when I look to my right, Nick's at my right. And how we had it before, whenever I looked there, I was looking to my left. So we'd just both be looking away from each other.
Yeah.
And completely went over our head for the last 26 episodes, however many we've been doing on video from there. But now we finally have it fixed. So hopefully our YouTube viewers enjoy that we're actually like kind of connecting right here. Like we're actually looking at each other.
This is good.
But Fast Five time. Nick, what are the rules of the Fast Five?
5 quick and easy questions, quick and easy answers, no more than a sentence. But we can breach.
Yeah.
That's all right.
You can't constrain me.
Yeah, right now we got the Bills and Chiefs game on. So who you got, Bills or Chiefs?
I am going to go with the Bills. I believe in this squad. They're heating up at the right time. If this was mid-season, I'd give you a different answer. But I think that this team at home has the advantage, and they're playing very well right now. So let's go Bills.
Good game right now, too, 2017.
Yep, third quarter. We'll keep you guys posted throughout this, even though the results will be long over before we post this. But next question.
What's your favorite childhood movie?
Favorite childhood movie? Ooh, that's a good one. What was one that I couldn't stop? One that like pops into my head right away is Cars, but now that I think about it twice, I'm gonna go with Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed. An instant classic. I'm a huge Scooby-Doo guy, and that was a road trip essential. I think I had that DVD, the double feature where it had the first Scooby-Doo and the second one, the live-action movies, and I watched that at least 1,000,000 times growing up. Always had it on the back. So shout out to Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed. If you haven't watched it yet, underrated movie.
Hell yeah. If you were a woodchuck, how much wood could you chuck?
If a woodchuck could chuck wood, I would chuck the most wood that a woodchuck could chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
I'm glad to hear it. What is the name of your favorite restaurant?
Favorite restaurant? I'm going to have to go to Portofino's, which is... okay, I'm going to say 2, and I know it's cheating, but Portofino's is my lifetime favorite restaurant in Edmonds. I went to 5 straight birthdays there. Italian restaurant, amazing pizza, amazing everything. Did homecoming my freshman year there. But honestly, if I was going to go down to Edmonds today and go to a restaurant, I'm going to Dimitri's, which is out on the waterfront. It is a Greek-inspired restaurant, and I'm in a huge Greek food like wave the last 4 years of my life, and I love that place. They have these Euro sliders, which is exactly what it sounds like. It is a mini Euro that comes in like 3, and they're delectable. My family loves going down there, and it's literally right on the waterfront, so you get some of the craziest sunsets ever in the summer. Even like in the winter, you get some nice views. So shout out to Dimitri's. I'm whipping out the shout outs right now. I'm in a giving mood.
That sounds delicious.
It's awesome.
Lastly, do you believe in the Super Bowl logo conspiracy?
So that is a great question, and we were talking about this last night, and I am kind of on wave right now because it's too suspicious for me. Like Super Bowl 54, whatever it was 2 years ago, Bengals and the Rams, you look at the logo, it's orange and it's got a little bit of that yellow. I think there might have been some blue in there too. Okay, one time, it's interesting. And this is like in the new wave of the logos, because this wasn't how it was for LVI or LII, however many eyes it takes. And then last year, the green and the red, Eagles and Chiefs. This year, purple and red. Who are the top 2 teams in football right now?
Ravens and Chiefs.
Ravens and 49ers would be my answer. But Ravens and Chiefs could be that.
Chiefs are there every year.
They are. Unfortunately, the Ravens can't play the Chiefs as they're in the same conference. But
he's never good at football knowledge.
But either way, I think it's just a little bit too suspicious for me. And everything's lining up right now. Ravens just clinched yesterday. They're going to be in the AFC Championship. Sure. We'll get to the heartbreaking Packers-49ers game, but Packers are out of the playoffs, and the 49ers are in the NFC Championship. And I was going to say, if the Packers won, I was waiting for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to beat the Detroit Lions, and the red would stay in the NFC, and like it could be Ravens, Buccaneers, and it would go with the conspiracy.
Yeah.
But that is my long answer to say, yes, right now I believe in the conspiracy. Although it's because also you think about it, the NFL is doing exactly what they want.
Yeah.
They are getting us talking about this.
100%.
And I mean, the Super Bowl is a topic of conversation year round. But like now we're just talking about the little things like the logo and how, it could be rigged. But realistically, like, it's already rigged. There's a script. Everyone knows it.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, just imagine being the Panthers and opening up all right, we got the first overall pick. We got Bryce Young. We got a brand new head coach. Let's see what the NFL has in store for us. And you're like, fuck. It's going to be a tough year.
Then you're Houston.
Yeah. Houston.
Yeah, right. What a script.
Or Nick Chubb. And then you're like, wait, but you're just the Cleveland Browns in general. Like, oh, we're going to make the playoffs without Deshaun Watson. Okay. DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. He's a good rookie. We can... Joe Flacco,
bro,
leading us to the playoffs. Like, if you're reading that script, you're probably just dropping it right then and there.
You would think.
But that's
if
the only
Joe
way.
Flacco,
dude, yeah, you're getting a call when you're sitting on your couch. This is 12 weeks before they actually need you, and they're like, hey, just like a heads up, like, hit the weight room. Here's some film you can watch. Like, you're gonna be our starting quarterback week 12. What a life! What a life. But how do you feel about the Super Bowl logo conspiracy?
Yeah, I mean, I can see it, but at the same time, it's always a game. I don't know. I don't know how you can write a script for a football game to play out, and one person be the winner and another person be the loser.
Here's what I want to see. I want to see the conspiracy go out the window so that we can stop worrying about it.
100%.
My only fear is, like, right now it's lining up to where the Ravens could play the 49ers in the championship. Like, that's the odds-on favorite matchup. And if it happens, we're just going to be talking about this next year. And they're going to take extra time to create a logo that can purposely mislead us. Like, they'll put the craziest color out there where it's like a bunch of teams could be in contention. And it's like, hey, like, my team's going to the Super Bowl. Like, if I see an ounce of green in there, I'm going to say, boom, it's going with my theory, which is not a theory. It's going to be a fact in a year that the Packers are going to win the Super Bowl next year. And I'll get into that a little bit more when we go to the game recap from that heartbreaking loss for me. If I haven't already said, I'm heartbroken. But that would just fire me up.
Yeah.
So that was a good fast five. Of course, leave it up to Nick to just give banger questions.
Appreciate it.
But now this leads us in. The last time we talked, we recorded on Monday of this week. And we talked about our first practice, kind of captain's practice shoot around. It was awesome. It was in the snow. And last time we were recording, it was pouring down snow. We'll jump back to Tuesday because that was the first day of the semester. First day of the last semester of Cabrini. History at that. And in typical Cabrini fashion, it was a snow day.
And we had off.
So I woke up.
I did not have off, actually. I had a morning class even though school got canceled.
And that is criminal. And
imagine.
I don't know, like, how if you're a professor and you know you're teaching college students, you know it's the first day of the semester, back from break, you have an 8:15 class.
Yep.
I get it. You have to cover concepts. I get it. You have, like, stuff you're on a schedule. But, like, I also have morals. And like, I'm not going to make my students get, especially, like, a virtual class on a snow day.
Yeah.
For the first one of the semester.
Yeah, and it was just crazy because I woke up and I saw that we had off. And then I looked at my email and I saw that we had class. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. So I emailed him again and I was like, hey, do we still have class? Like, just make, He's like, yeah. I was like, damn.
Yeah, I woke up to the text or the email from Cabrini where they were like, hey, we're going to do a 2-hour delay first. And I thought I had a 9:40. I misspoke in the last episode because I have a 9:40 on Mondays. And of course, everyone's schedule is thrown off on the first week because it starts on a Tuesday. I woke up to the email thinking I had a 9:40 and I was like, okay, cool. I have an 11:05. So I have a little bit more time. Wake up, kind of go through my morning routine, and I'm like, fuck, I'm really tired. Like, I don't know what it is, like, haven't gone up at 8 a.m. East Coast time in a while, kind of just, like, going through the motions, and then I see the second email that we got, like, an hour or two later, where it said, full cancellation of all classes. And I kid you not, my instant reaction was one pure joy, and then my second reaction was, I'm going the fuck back to bed.
Yep.
And I plopped right down. And I think I got an extra, like, maybe 20, 30 minutes. It wasn't even, like, crazy worth it. It was more like a power nap. But it was just the concept of, like, somebody up there was listening. They knew I needed that.
Yeah.
And I needed that. Went and got my nice little morning. I have my morning routine that I go through. And I was about to kick it off where I, get my cup of coffee brewing and, like, sit down at my computer and kind of just dial in for the day. And it was right as I was about to go in for the coffee where I got the email, and I was like, that's a sign from God. They're like, don't caffeinate. Don't caffeinate. You need a little extra natural energy. That's exactly what I got.
There you go.
But other than that, what was your snow day activities looking like? Because we kind of got, I wouldn't say we got snowed in because it wasn't too bad. They did a really good job with the snow plowing. But we got a solid, I think, 3 inches of snow overnight.
Yeah, I mean, pretty sure we just chilled in, really. I mean, didn't really do much. Cleaned my car off. Obviously, shoveled out what I had to, but yeah,
yes,
really didn't do much.
We shoveled out.
Funny.
We shoveled out our cars with. We don't have a snow shovel.
Nope.
And this was something that I thought of as it was snowing. I was like, we could probably go run to the store, but realistically, they're probably sold out, and it's just not worth it. And then I looked over. I don't know if we have any of them by us. We have these mini lacrosse sticks that we got at Walmart. On a whim, when actually we were buying the table that you guys are sitting on right now.
Yes.
We went on a little side quest where we got distracted in Walmart. Instead of buying a table, we ended up getting 4 mini lacrosse sticks. And, all first semester, we kind of just, like, mess around with them every once in a while. But when it snowed, I instantly got the idea. I was like, hey, a lacrosse stick, kind of resembles a shovel a little bit.
100%.
And, like, yeah, there's a couple holes, but snow's a little more solid than you think.
Yeah.
So we went out there and shoveled with our lacrosse sticks. I don't know if I saved the video. If I did, I'll probably post it on the Lax Lounge Instagram, which if you're not following, make sure to
give that a follow.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram, like, comment on all of our recent posts. I don't think I saved it. Yeah, it doesn't look like I did. Shucks. But it's Nick out there and typical, like, great coach form, getting nice and low on his ground balls, scooping out the snow to unbury our cars and wiping everything off. But that was just, you see everyone kind of, like, struggling with their shovels, and there's just 2 college lacrosse players like, we're just getting our reps in.
Yeah.
We're getting better.
I went out like right before you did, and I started doing my car, and literally the first scoop, it broke. Like the head just snapped, and I was like, what the hell? I still was able to manage.
Yeah, and now in the back of my car, I have not only my Philadelphia Flyers like ice scraper, which that thing is sick. I think you have one
I have
too.
one also, yeah.
And it like covers up your hand. It's basically a glove, so it doesn't really get that cold. You can get really in there. It's awesome. I love it. And the other thing I got, and I don't know if I brought this up in the last episode, but I got a gift from our good friend Nathan Mazurek. His parents got him and his brothers these things called the Barstool car stick. And it's a Barstool kind of joke where it's literally just a piece of wood that's got the brush on one end, the ice scraper on the other. And he was like not that big of a Barstool fan. So he goes, I know exactly who would love this. And when I got out here on Wednesday, I think it was Thursday, when he brought me outside to his trunk and he's like, I have something for you. Turn around. Opens up his trunk and I'm like, am I going to get murdered right now? Like, should I be concerned? And I turn around and I just see a piece of wood. I see the ice scraper, I see the brush, and I see Barstool car stick, and I'm like, no way you got me a Barstool car stick. Exactly what I needed, because I realized I don't have a brush in my car anymore. I don't know where it went. It's probably in my trunk or like just hidden somewhere, but I couldn't find it. So it was perfect, and it worked amazingly to clean off my car. It's just so satisfying. Although on Tuesday it was very icy. That is the only thing that kind of sucked about knocking off all the snow. Said it was kind of tough. But the one thing that I did do on Tuesday, now that I think about it, is I traveled over to 4th Ave, the residence, and we enjoyed a little fire outside. They have this burn barrel, they call it, which is just a trash can, and they found some planks at their neighbor, which is literally just, a warehouse, had a bunch of empty planks outside, or like wooden blocks. So they took it, ripped it apart, put it in the burn barrel, lit it up, and they'd been going since like 12:30. So I showed up like 4:35, like right about sunset, and it was pretty awesome. Just like 6 or 7 of us sitting around the fire, chopping it up. Waldo was there, Gers, Nate, Bear, Julian, obviously. I think that was pretty much it. Oh, Meg, who's Gers' girlfriend. And we're just having a blast, just sharing the moment, hanging out around the fire. It was quite awesome. And then also Gers' MVP moment here. He had a great idea. He was like, yo, I'm kind of getting hungry. Like, anyone want to order in some pizza? So he orders from, I think it's called Pizza Time in Conchi. Great slice.
Really?
He ordered 3 large just plain pies. And Mario was the other one who was there. That's it, because I went and picked him up. Because he had an unfortunate thing happen to
crazy.
His car on Monday night. But regardless, him and Nate, they're South. Nate's North Jersey, he's South Jersey, but they're both the same with their pizza style. They like it well done, like very well done crust. And so they made sure when Gers ordered it, they're like, hey, make sure it's well done and say it. So Gers said, all right, I want 3 plain pies, well done. And Nate and Mario were like, just kind of going with the shtick of every 5 seconds they'd be like, remind them that we want it well done. Like, make sure they know we want it well done. So he's like confirming the address with the lady, and they're like, Gers, say well done. Just say it. They're like, oh yeah, like deliver to this address. But like, by the way, well done pies. Like, make sure it's well done. And the funny part is, when they got there, 2 out of the 3 were well done, but one, they like looked at it and they're like, Gers, does this look well done to you? So that was pretty awesome. But
that's awesome.
Absolutely hit the spot. The only thing that kind of sucks is it was steaming hot, so it just railed the roof of our mouths. But also it felt like 8 degrees outside, so it was kind of like a good 2-way road there. But that was a great way. We were saying that was the best first day of school we had ever had.
Yeah.
Like, on the first day of school, what did you do? Oh, we sat around a burn barrel eating pizza with the boys. Name something better. I will wait. So yeah, that is, I'm pretty sure that's all that we had going on Tuesday. Wednesday, we had a similar schedule.
2-hour delay.
2-hour delay, which again, have a 9:40 on Wednesdays. We have a 9:40, I should say.
Yes, we do.
And 2-hour delay meant that was canceled.
Yep.
So my only class was going to be later at night. And that was our first day where we had our conditioning and lift with Dustin, which that was great to get back in the weight room, kind of get back into that routine. So I was in the 11 a.m. session, and we got in. We didn't really know what to expect at first, and I think it was the best 3 days of strength and conditioning that I've had in my Cabrini career. Like, we didn't get a crazy workout in. We stretched, we did some mobility and like core work, and then we did some build up like sprinting on our indoor track. So 1, we didn't have to go outside in the freezing cold. Check. 2, we didn't have to hit legs. Check. And then 3, we had a great workout in, got the heart rate going, got the legs loose, and like the idea behind it was build us up to today where we had our first practice. So we all kind of feel fresh, we don't feel fatigued, but we still get that work in, and it felt amazing. I don't know how your session went because you were in the 2 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
We had Coach DeLuca come in for our entire one. It was fun because he kind of just like sat there, didn't really say much, but was just like enjoying being around us, which I mess with that a ton. Like he's just there to enjoy our presence and like, you know, throw in a one-liner or two, throw in a couple jokes, and it was great. How about the 2 p.m. session?
Yeah, he walked through. He didn't like do what he did at your group, but it was great. We had way more numbers than you guys. I think you guys had what, like 7, 8 guys in yours?
Yeah, we had 7, and then Tommy and Nate had to leave early for class, so we ended with like 5.
Yeah.
So it was a very intimate session with Dustin.
Yeah, we had a lot more than that. But yeah, it was fun. Did the same workout as you guys, but yeah, it was a good time. Basketball was practicing. They had, I believe it was Salisbury that night or the following night. Mm-hmm. They actually ended up winning that game.
Yes,
so,
it was a great game.
Shout out to the men's basketball team.
Congratulations.
Yeah. But yeah, it was awesome. I thought it was really, really nice to be back. Felt good.
It was great to be back as a group.
Yes.
I feel that because that was our first kind of like team activity of the week.
Mm-hmm.
And with the snow, with everything else going on, like you hadn't really seen a lot of the guys. So it was cool, like come to the locker room, dap everyone up, see some of the people that weren't at the shooting session.
And that was Wednesday, which means we had a meeting Wednesday night.
We had a big team meeting. Well, actually, first, I came back later in the day to play some pickup hoops with some of the guys because obviously I had the earlier session for lift. So we were just like playing pickup ball for a couple games. Didn't have any crazy plays. I think, you know, locked it down from 3. That's usually my typical game. But we had to end a little bit early so that men's basketball could start for their game because, as we mentioned, they were playing Salisbury. And we decided to go up to the upstairs classroom in Dixon early, like an hour and a half before the meeting. And I don't know what happened, but we walked in. We just, like, put our stuff down, kind of we're chopping it up. And out of nowhere, Jerry comes out of the back room with a thing of ping pong balls, and he just like starts bouncing one around, playing. I was like, "Yo, we should like find ping pong paddles," because I brought up the story about how I spent my senior year of high school playing ping pong with the hybrid learning system that we had at our school, and he's like, "Yo, I have an idea. Let's use our phones." So we used our phones as paddles. We pulled a bunch of the tables, put them together, and we were playing makeshift ping pong. Just with our phones, with a sweatshirt as the net.
That's awesome.
And balls. And it got intense. Like, it was awesome. I took a video, and this I actually do have on my phone, I know for a fact. It was lit. Like, we were just playing pre-meeting pong. It was me, Goozy, Jerry. I got in a good battle with Brett Googler. Shout out Googs. Bear, Sebastian, they were there. PJ. We played like for, I want to say, 35, 40 minutes.
That's awesome.
And I got to relive the glory days, you know, high school when I peaked. But yeah, it was one of those just kind of random moments that you'll never have those moments back. And it was especially before like the big meeting of everything kind of coming together, first practice on the horizon. Like it's a cool moment to just like sit back, find a fun way to compete, and also not make a lot of noise because we didn't want to cause chaos and like get people on our side. But yeah, it was awesome. Killed that time. And then team meeting time.
Yeah, meeting of a lifetime. It was great. I thought the meeting itself was awesome.
It was very to the point, which in the fall, I remember our first meeting, vividly, I can still see DeLuca walks in, comes to the front, all right, boys, dap each other up, say what's up to each other. And then we went on for like, I want to say an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Like it was a long one. And this one I was a little bit worried because I did have class at 6:10. that night. So the meeting was at 5:30, and I had already told my professor, Jana Tidwell, shout out. I told her that I was going to be late because it was me, Nate, and Riggs. And I was kind of hoping that it didn't go too far over because I didn't want to leave the meeting because I kind of knew what was coming. So I knew that I was going to already be late, and I was worried that we were going to go a little bit over on time for the meeting. I was going to be super duper late. But instead, it was short to the point. I forget even what he really like.
Burn the boats.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to pass this one over to you because I feel like you would have the better words to put together for what DeLuca said in the Burn the Boat speech, but it was fucking incredible.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. And it was meaningful. And I think that was like the biggest thing that he was trying to get out of that is like this year is meaningful. But like burning boats, you know? Burn our boats. Let's conquer land. Burn our boats so we can't go back, and we either conquer or we die.
Yeah.
And it's a good-ass mindset to have this year because we have 5 months.
He gave us the background on it, too, which I knew about what burn the boat, kind of what it meant, like the idea of it, what you just said, the whole, like, conquer or die. I didn't realize it's based kind of on, like, a true story. Good old Hernan Cortez, which was not the greatest guy in world history, but he was a Spanish conquistador, went down to, I want to say Central America, around there, because he was the guy who took down the Aztecs, maybe the Incas, one of those empires. He was the one who took them down, but traveled for like years to get there. Lands, has a bunch of guys on board, and some of them are like, I kind of want to go back. Like, I don't know if this is for me. So one morning, he orders the boats to be destroyed, to be burned. And the guys wake up and they're like, holy shit, we're stuck. And he's like, yeah, you got two choices. We either conquer this land or we die doing it. And I had no idea that was the origin of like burn the boats. But now I remember he ended the meeting with that basically. And then we went downstairs for a little bit of surprise. But I remember standing up, and I mean, this isn't the first time I've said it. Like, obviously, in a good pump-up speech, you should be ready to run through a brick wall. But I just remember standing up, and I think it was Dylan McManus who was in front of me, and I was like, holy shit, I need a brick wall right now. Right now. Like, I am so fired up, and I'm about to go into public relations and dominate that class and burn every boat in public relations. But that was a great tone setter for not even like the year quite yet, but just for that week that we were going to have.
Yes.
Because he was like mentally prepared. The other thing that he told us is he was like, tonight before bed, take 2 minutes and just think to yourself, am I willing to give up everything for this mission? Am I willing to either conquer everything or die doing it? And not obviously like figuratively,
of course.
But we kind of have to deal with something dying. Like Cabrini is dying, so there's one choice that we have.
Yeah,
we got to go out and be our best every single day and burn the boats.
Yes, sir.
And that transitioned us into something that we had known was coming. Gear Day.
Dude, the best ever Gear Day.
It's always the best day, and it was especially pretty cool this year.
So much stuff.
We got a text earlier in the day at like 4:30, and they're like, hey, nobody's allowed in the locker room for the rest of the day.
Yep.
Until we say so. And I'd seen DeLuca and Raph earlier last week carrying around a lot of boxes when I first got into Dixon. And Raph like stood in front of it, blocked it, and he was like, you don't see anything, you don't see anything. And I was like, yes, sir, I don't see anything. And Waldo actually hinted it to me the day before when we were at the burn barrel, because he apparently walked into Coach's office and saw everything.
Wow.
And so he kept his mouth shut. And credit to Waldo, because he was like, I know the surprise was ruined for me. I'm not even going to like tell you a thing other than it's sick. So it was a perfect little like seed planted in my head about what we were expecting. And Nick, when you walked into that locker room, what did you find?
I found a pair of shoes, a new lid, 2 heads, a shaft, a sweatshirt, sweatpants, a long sleeve, 2 short shooters, and a polo. I think that was it.
Yeah, that was it. Nothing too crazy. I just remember because I think I was near the front of the group. And when we walked in, I wasn't the first one to go in, but I think it might have been Lenny. No, it had to be Waldo. Because also, one of the funniest parts is Lenny. We got pizza at our team meeting. Lenny's just grubbing on a slice. Like, as we walk in and see our new gear, I'm like, that's such a Mason Leonard moment. But we go in and I just hear like, oh shit. And then I walk in myself and I see first the Nike box with the shoes in it. And I was like, holy shit. And then I see the helmet. We got a brand new XRS Pro in our Cabrini blue with, well, I just saw that at first. And then the new gloves on the floor, all the gear sitting in our, on the bottom of our locker, the shaft, the heads. And then when I looked at the helmet closer, the more you looked at that thing, the more details you picked up. And a nice feature that they have on the XRS and the XRS Pro is on like the face shield. You can put text on it. On the front of ours, it just said together.
Yep.
And I was like, holy shit, that's sick.
That's good detail.
And then on the back, it had our number and in a sick font, which shout out to Coach DeLuca because he crushed everything that we got.
Yeah.
It looks so cool. And that's like what I love about having a young coach, because he wants to look good and he knows what a player wants so that they can look good.
Yeah.
So everything looks sick. And it says one last ride in this incredible font. Same thing with the t-shirts. We have kind of like a pirate style logo on the front, where it's actually basically the Virginia logo, but with a Cabrini Cavalier instead of the Virginia Cavalier. And then on the back it says together in that same font. Numbers on everything. We got the Jordan Brand sweatsuit, which is so comfy, so clean, and we just look so badass when we wear it.
Dude,
we look so fucking good.
It's some nice shit.
The shoes, I forget what they are. I think they're like Zooms maybe.
Yeah.
Nice royal blue Nike shoes.
Beauties.
Our new lifting shoes or like box across shoes. And then obviously the two heads and the shaft. And the shaft is awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's the Evo QX. I thought I was making that up. Good shit, Jason. But that thing is so nice. Like, it is light. I don't know. I just love it. It's got great grip on it. Nice ass shaft. It was free. And we did the math when we came back here. It had to be like $1,300 to $1,400 worth of gear.
Yeah.
Per person.
Crazy.
So it was Christmas in January. That's what I said. And I remember I looked at the shoes and I said out loud, because Coach Luke is a sneakerhead, I was like, this is why you have a sneakerhead as your head coach, because they'll make sure they hook you up with the right stuff. And he just had a nice little smirk on his face where he was like, yeah, you're right. But yeah, that was one of the coolest moments of the year, really.
Yeah.
And it just got everyone so...
Probably my career.
Yeah. I've never had anything like that where you walk in with like a full surprise.
Yeah.
'Cause I remember the year before I got to O'Day, they had a similar thing where Drew surprised everyone with Adidas cleats. But like, I wasn't a part of that team, so I didn't have that like joy of you walk in and it's like, holy shit, free cleats.
Yeah.
Brand new, like custom to O'Day. Everything that we had was custom to this group.
Yes.
And I think that's what I like the most, is we're the only people that have this stuff. And it's like, it really set the tone as like, hey, we're in this shit.
Yeah.
And we're going to look fucking good doing it. That's another thing Coach said. He's like, I truly believe in look good, feel good, play good. We got the look good. We're probably going to feel good. Time to play good.
Yeah.
So great little team meeting, team activity there. And then I headed off to public relations with the one and only Jana Tidwell. It was funny because me and Nate showed up at the same time, and Reeves was a little behind us. But when we walked in, she had actually just done like a call or an interview for because of all the snow right during class, which is awesome for people who didn't know who she was. And she's like, yeah, proving that I know what I'm talking about. But we walked in and she makes eye contact with me and Nate, and just big smile comes on her face. And when we walk in, she's like, oh, we're going to take a moment here and look at our guests of honor and welcome them into class. And I was like, sorry, we're late. We had a team meeting. She's like, oh, don't worry. I know. We waited for you guys. So obviously they didn't. But it was great to catch up with her. She's the best. She says hello. She's a Lax Lounge enthusiast, which we always love, especially from our professors. But yeah, that was pretty much. And then I went and watched the basketball game right after class because I'm not gonna lie, like Salisbury's a good squad,
Yeah.
and we really I didn't think we were gonna win that game. And when I came back, because I left some of my stuff in the locker room, so I didn't have to carry it all around. Come back through the back door, I look into the gym, I peek, and I like see the score's like kind of close, and I'm like, geez, I'm tripping. Like I'm seeing things. I open up the door, look in, and I'm like, holy shit, we're winning right now. Like we're in this game.
Crazy.
Sat down, I was catching up with Oscar Bouts. Shout out, he's on the baseball team, and a couple of the other guys. Just sat and watched the game with them, and we ended up pulling it off. Like we played really well. Our offense was cooking, getting the defensive stops we needed, and it was a statement non-conference win. And that was our last non-conference game, so set us up with good momentum going into the back half of our AAC schedule, and hopefully a deep run in the AAC tournament. But I was really happy for the guys. They've had a tough season, a really, really tough non-conference schedule. And it was cool to see them pull out that victory. And I really like our coach, our basketball coach, Van Zels. He's such a cool dude. Like I saw him on Saturday. I did the basketball game on Saturday when they played Marymount. Mm-hmm. And I saw him before, and it was right as I was coming back from the field, which we'll talk about how we had a captain's practice. And I was like, hey, good luck tonight, coach. And he was like, yeah, I mean, you guys staying cold, warm out there? Like, it's freezing. It's cold as fuck. And I was like, hell yeah, it is. And then, like, I go in the locker room, do my Superman change, and I walk in to go use the restroom, and he's right there. And he's like, you're pretty fast. Because I was in, like, sweatsuit, and then I'm in polo and khakis. He's like, damn, you're good. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I am. But, yeah, that was my Wednesday.
There you go.
And then Thursday was my first kind of full day where I had a class at 11, comics journalism with Professor Rosenfield, my journalism professor. I think I'll enjoy it. I should be fine. But I think that's pretty much all that really happened on Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, we had that little bit of conditioning.
Yeah.
Did we?
We did. It was out on the field.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it was fun though.
Again, light build up.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
And then Friday comes around, and once again, we get a message that there is no school. And they actually told us Thursday night, pretty nice, that we got a nice warning on that where they said everything was going to move to remote. And we were kind of on hold for a while about whether we would have something happen Friday morning with our conditioning, or if it was because the whole group was supposed to go at 2, but it was already snowing in the morning. So PJ told us, like, hey, keep out for a text. Like, we'll communicate with you guys, whatever you need. And we just didn't see anything, like, all night, all morning. So it's kind of just that guessing game of, like, I hope it's either canceled or we can do it later, like, whatever. And I woke up and the snow was pretty bad outside. It was pretty thick.
Yeah.
The nice thing about Friday's snow compared to Tuesday's snow,
The ice layer wasn't there.
exactly. It was more of like a dry, kind of just pure powder.
Moved
So it was
a lot easier.
very easy to get around.
Yeah.
And again, I'm impressed always with how PA and around here you guys do your streets, because the snowplows get there right away. And they clear most everything out so that even my little sedan can get around. And it's awesome. I ended up going over to Cabrini that day because Coach DeLuca sent a message like, hey, I'm going to go around 3 o'clock to plow the field, or not plow, but shovel the field and kind of just get it prepared so everything doesn't ice over. And we did this Thursday in our conditioning session where all the guys, after we were done with Dustin, we saw Coach was shoveling in the stands. And actually, I should have mentioned this because this was such a cool kind of just like team identity and culture moment where PJ went over and he was like, yo, Coach, you need a hand. And he was like, yeah, I could use a couple extra hands. So we all grabbed our shovels, started just clearing everything out, like making things look good. And in 15 minutes, we had the entire area about our bleachers on the outside, the entrance to our field, all cleared out. And what would probably have taken like 30 minutes with one person alone, and we were just crushing it. We were going efficient. I think it was like me and Petey just like got into a rhythm, like pushing stuff up against the fence, flying it over. We had like this giant like boulder of snow that was piled up outside the field. And when we first like hit at it, like it was kind of pure ice. So we're like, yeah, that's not going anywhere. And then I forget, I think it might have been PJ again or Matt Williams who just like hit at it a few times, and we started to break it down. And then in 2 minutes we toppled it. But it was cool because we went out of our way. Like, coach didn't ask us to do that. And this is why I love PJ as a leader, because he saw that opportunity of like, hey, we have guys that can help you out. Like, we're going to help you out. And we did it, and we all just like, it was just a cool moment that like I'll always remember. Like us, as I say that, I kind of forgot it. But I'll always remember just like us helping out and being bought into, like, you know, it's the little things. We preach that a lot about doing the little things and keeping everything about like doing the right thing. Even though nobody's asking. Yeah. And that was just a pure example of that. So I love that. That brings me to Friday. Because coach was like, again, as I said, he's going to go shovel the field. No pressure. You don't have to come. But if you can, like, it'd be appreciated. So I wanted to test the waters on how my car would drive and kind of try to get it out and, like, just do something. Because, you know, I'd been sitting around on my computer prepping for the basketball game like a capital J journalist. So got it out. Drove fine, which was awesome. Again, I just got that confidence of like, okay, cool, I can do this. Because I'd never really driven in the snow in that car ever before. It was always in my dad's truck or like my mom's car, which is a little bit bigger, but that's like 2-wheel drive. So, you know, it's a little nerve-wracking sometimes. Got to Cabrini perfectly fine. I come out. It's me, DeLuca, and Seb. And I just walk onto the field, and DeLuca had brought his dog so that it could run around. The dog immediately just like runs at me and starts barking at me like I'm a stranger, which I am, or like I'm a criminal. Where I was just like, I don't have the drugs. I left them in my car. It's okay. And that's what I love saying that to like just every single dog. But just started going crazy. Walked over. We knocked off some of the snow on the press box. Came back and cleared outside of the locker room, like our walkway. I showed up a little bit later just because I was finishing up my my prep for the game, but it's still like just a solid 25-30 minutes. Me, Seb, and coach just kind of like shooting the shit. Yeah, just like a really cool moment. And then Seb, glue guy of the year, which we'll get into a segment that we have later on. Nate's house again had the burn barrel going, and they had been doing this all day. And a bunch of the guys from the team were going over there just hanging out. So Seb was like, yeah, I'm going to go over to Nate's after this and hang out with the guys. And I was like, you want to take me with you? Like, I don't really feel like driving to Conchi and leaving my car over there. Like, can you pick me up and take me along the way? And he was like, absolutely. Yeah, no problem. So we got to go over, go see the burn barrel again, which was even better this time because it was like broad daylight. And I mean, it was freezing cold. So fresh levels of snow, a giant flame. Like, they had that thing going. Got to give the guys credit. They crushed it. And it was awesome. Just a nice little like team bonding moment. Again, setting the tone. Like, hey, this is our last kind of day together before stuff really gets real. Even though it was 2 days from our first practice, but this is our full like we're gonna be together. We're gonna hang out, have some fun, and then in 2 days we hit the ground running. So that was a great way to spend my Friday snow day. And then the next morning, Saturday, we did text, which I will say, okay, PJ Hewitt, great captain.
Amazing.
But he texted us at like 10 o'clock Saturday morning, being like, yo, captain's practice at 1 o'clock. We're going to do like a little stick work conditioning thing. And I wasn't that mad because I was already up.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah. And it was great. Like, the session itself was perfect. Exactly what we needed.
Yes.
But it was a little bit last minute where it was like, fuck, now we have to go to Cabrini. And I was already going to be there, but it was kind of just like, all right, add that onto the schedule.
It was last minute, but it was, like I said, it was exactly what we needed. Because everything that could have gone to shit today went to shit yesterday. And we learned from all of our mistakes, knocked that rust right back off, and we're dialed. Dialed.
And so it was like a stick work conditioning thing. We started out, we just did our normal stretch. We did something in the locker room, our normal thing, and then PD says, all right, leave your sticks right here. We're hopping on the line. I turned to Bolt, and I was just like, what are we about to do right now? And it was the stuff that Dustin assigned for us on Friday that we didn't get to do. So it wasn't anything crazy. Plyometric works, a little bit of kind of build-up sprint work, and then extended sprint work. And then we went into some stick work drills. But like you said, exactly what we needed. Got the touches in, got to kind of go out there in the cold. We were wearing our new helmets, which the worst part about getting new helmets is breaking them in. Like that headache that you have the first 3 days is brutal. But we got to get that over with, kind of test out the waters there, and we looked so swaggy.
Yeah.
Everyone was in the new sweatsuits. Oh my gosh. When I say that we walked out of the tunnel and we had like the glass door, and I just stared at the whole group and I was just like, God damn, we look good. Because God damn, we look good. Right after that, went in for the basketball game. Fortunately, the guys couldn't get the win. Marymount is the top team in our conference, so it was a close game. We were leading at halftime, I want to say. We were down by 1, back and forth, and then they kind of pulled away at the end. But fun experience, great way to spend my Saturday before the season started, and it was perfectly timed because I got back and football was on. We had the Baltimore Ravens and the Houston Texans on first. Ravens won that game. And then my prime time, the game I've been waiting for all week, Packers 49ers. I got the cheese head on. I got my Aaron Rodgers jersey. Still waiting on my Jordan Love jersey. Like, I say I'm waiting. I got to order it, which, you know what? Because of the performance that he put on this year, I'm going to order it. I'm going to do it. I have to because he's stolen my heart. But it was going in. And I've been saying this for a while. Like, I was just happy to be there. Like, we were not supposed to be good this year. I think I said this last week when we were playing Dallas. Like, nobody expected us to do this. It was a rebuild year. Yeah. And we made the playoffs. We got a big win in the first round. I was like, hey, that's a successful season. Then we come out against the Niners, and we look really, really good. And we build a lead. And I think going into the fourth quarter, we were up by a score. And I was like, The entire game, I was just on edge because I slowly started to believe where I was like, holy shit, we're going to do this. Like, we're going to beat the 49ers at home. We're going to go to the NFC Championship, and, like, we could make a run to the Super Bowl. Like, we are the hottest team in the NFL right now. Unfortunately, the NFL gods and the script writers just wanted to yank my heart out of my chest and rip it into a million pieces because we folded at the end, missed field goal. That would have put us up a touchdown. 49ers drive down, score a touchdown. And then Jordan Love tries to turn into Superman and throw a 30-yard bomb across his body.
Yes.
Intercepted. And that's all she wrote. So a really tough ending.
It was a good game, though. Really good game.
Somebody was saying, I think it might have been you, but every time the Packers and the 49ers play in the playoffs, it's an instant classic. Like, there hasn't been a bad game in a couple years, or there's a big moment in that game no matter what. Yeah. And that was another installation in that, and it was a tough result. Like, I'm still not really over it because I'm so mad about how I believed, and like they just got my hopes so high just to drop right back down. And I think I looked at the odds, like the live betting odds, where it shows like the graph, and it was 49ers, Packers all the way to the end, and then just zoom, 49ers. And that is exactly what my, like, hope level went.
Yeah.
Peaked at an all-time high, felt super duper confident. Then it was like, fuck, I'm too confident. There's a lot of time left, and it was all downhill from there. Tough one, but again, successful season.
Yeah.
I can't be mad at that at all.
No.
So Packers,
they're on the right track.
They are.
Yeah.
And we have a very bright future. And as I hinted at earlier, we are going to win the Super Bowl next year, which is awesome if I'm a Packer fan, which I am. And I say that because this is Jordan Love's first year as a starter. He does great things. Aaron Rodgers, in his first year as a starter, he actually lost in the wild card round. It was a shootout, I want to say, to the Falcons, where it was like a 51-43 game. Tough loss. Well, the next year they came in as an underdog, and they went all the way, made a run to the Super Bowl. And I don't know if anyone remembers the Super Bowl in 2010, but we beat the Steelers, and we raised the Lombardi Trophy in Aaron Rodgers' second year as a starter. So it's congratulations to the Green Bay Packers, Super Bowl 58 champions. Like, I'm just going to call it now. So
Place your bets, everybody.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hit the fridge lay there. Just Packers future. As soon as it can come up, Packers future. Pound it.
Do it.
So that was Saturday. And now I'm going to toss it over to Nick. Because Sunday, today, give me a little rundown of your morning leading in to the first day of practice.
Yeah. Well, I woke up, went to the bathroom, of course, came out, and I had an apple. Then I went to Wawa. You weren't here in the morning.
Yes, I left really early because...
Yeah. What time did you leave?
I woke up at 8. I think I was out the door by 8:40.
Okay, dude, because, I was going to say, I woke up at, 8:30, was out of my room by, 8:45, eating an apple. And I'm like, where the hell is this kid? And I was like, he's not here. And then I was like, all right, he must have been, at the locker room. You do arrive to the locker room early.
I like getting there early.
Yeah, I don't mind it either. But, had my apple, and then I left. So that was my morning before, practice. It was pretty basic.
That's all you need.
I would say.
Part of the reason why I left so early is I've been having this idea for a long time. And I actually meant to do this Saturday or Friday. Of course, the locker room was kind of shut off. It was hard to get to on Friday. But I wanted to write on the board. I want to do a quote of the week. Because I really enjoy that stuff. I did a lot during COVID where during my workouts with all my friends, we'd have a quote of the week on the side. Or quote of the day. We'd just find something that kind of describes what we're going through at that time, or something that we needed to hear. And so I'd been looking last night, actually during the Packers game at halftime. I was scrolling through just this motivational about starting a new journey, and what kind of looking for something that could lead us into this week and kind of give us that motivation of this is what we're working towards. And I stumbled across this Dolly Parton quote, which I left off I did not give her credit, but I'll give her credit here. And it was something along the lines of storms make trees' roots grow deeper. And I saw that, and I immediately thought that was a perfect kind of analogy to what we went through over the summer. Where it's a massive storm came through, a hurricane, tornado, whatever you want to call it, and some people fell over. Some trees got destroyed.
Yeah.
And for the group of 27 guys that stayed here, we had to dig deep and, implant our roots and be hey, this is where we stand. And we're going to be bought into this place. So I saw that, and I grabbed my whiteboard marker, because we don't have one in the locker room, ironically, but we have a whiteboard. Grabbed it, went in. I was actually the second person, because Nate was first. On the way over, I do have to mention this. I turned on my hard classic rock radio and was kind of just all right, let's get locked in. First song that comes on, For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica. Great song to kind of get the juices flowing. It's a long one too, it builds up. So I was just sitting there, I wish I could see from other people's perspectives, just me rocking back and forth, sitting at a stoplight, starting to get pissed off in a good way. Pull into the back. I step outside, I just look at Edith Rob Dixon Field, and I was this is where it begins.
Yeah.
Kind of just had that moment of solitude. Walked in the locker room. Nate's sitting right there. I'm what's up, man? Obviously, training room wasn't open yet, but he was trying to do his PT and warm up. Grab my marker, write on the board, and he was what the fuck are you writing on the board? And I was I explained to him, yeah, quote of the week, this is how I'm feeling. And he didn't hate the idea. He was I kind of dig that. I kind of mess with it. And then really just the normal kind of pre-practice routine. Although everything felt, there was this aura in the air for me, at least.
Yeah, there was.
Everybody kind of knew what was going on and how special it was. Mm-hmm. And holy shit, we made it. And I think DeLuca said this at practice, where it's every single day since the fall and even before this, it'd be, are we going to make it to the spring? And it was really satisfying to see that we did.
Yeah.
We all made it.
We're here.
Yeah, so we go out, do our get the field set, get the juices flowing, and Coach DeLuca during our stretches did something that we brought up in the fall for our first practice. It just fucking fires me up. Yeah. Went down the line, dapped every single one of us up. And I remember before he came to me, he went to bolt. And I think we were doing reverse lunges. And I just started jumping up and down. I'm let's fucking go, coach. Let's fucking go. Gave him a mean dap up. And I mean, again, I told him this in our individual meeting, where that stuff is why we can root for you.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to make time to come down and make sure all of us are on the same page with stuff. And it led us into a very productive first day. It was a lot lighter than the first day practices that I've ever really had.
Yeah, I agree.
In a good way, because it was a good balance of, hey, we're going to get our touches in. We're going to get back to kind of like some of the concepts that we go through. We're going to compete, but we're not going to go too hard. Did a good amount of work on the field. Came in and played a lot of box lacrosse. Had the tournaments, which also I got drafted to a God squad. Like, my team, it was me. I ran over to, because I was on team 3. Walk over and I see Sam Kirk and Tommy Vaughn. And I'm like, all right, this is going to be a 6 squad. Like, me and TV, pretty creative. Shandy, just Shandy.
Yeah.
And then Dylan McManus walks over. I'm like, fuck yeah, okay. We got another offensive weapon. Petey walks over. Okay, we got a two-way threat. Bear Evans trots over. I'm like, we got a God squad. Like, we're not going to lose. We're not going to lose. And spoiler alert, we did not lose.
Yeah.
We went undefeated, won the championship. We had a couple sick plays, a bunch of just, like, great teamwork stuff. Like, just throwing tough balls. And it was exactly what we were doing box for. Getting creative, having fun with it, competing. And it was a nice cherry on top of, like, a successful day. It was a successful day of work.
Yeah.
What were some of your takeaways from practice?
I thought it was great. I mean, I thought we all looked fresh. And I mean, everybody, the saying is, like, after week 1, no one's 100%. If we practice like that, now obviously, like, keep implementing stuff and, getting more vigorous as we go. But, like, if we build up in a good way, dude, we're gonna be healthy for a while. And that's a huge thing with the roster our size. So, I mean, I thought today was perfect first day.
Yeah, Nate said it best after. He was like, usually after the first day of practice, I'm like a 9 out of 10 pain. I'm only at like a 5. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's funny because it's obviously, like, we are definitely taking some low damage. Like, I sprained the shit out of my ankle in Thunder and Lightning. And it's like, I was showing you earlier, like, when I went to take a shower, I took off my sock, and I'm like, oh, shit, like, that's swollen as fuck. Like, that thing is plump.
Yeah.
But, hey, that's just kind of like the stuff that you got to deal with.
It happens.
It does. But a successful first day, and we're going to keep stacking good days. We're going to keep building something special here.
I agree.
And we're going to burn the motherfucking boats.
Burn them boats.
I think it's time for the moment of the week.
Moment of the week. So I already told you the moment of the week, but
So actually, do we want to do moment of the week or a news segment? Quickly.
For our news segment, we should agree on one person.
Okay.
There should not be 2 people because it's a glue guy of the week.
Okay. So that is our
So
news
whoever
segment.
your glue guy is, I'm with, and I think you already said it.
I did.
And I'll give an honorable mention.
Okay. So our new segment is going to be Glue Guy of the Week. If anybody is confused about what that means, it's kind of like a trendy new sports thing. There's an Instagram account on it. But a glue guy is someone that, like, keeps the team together. Like Elmer's glue in an elementary school, just, like, sticking things to a piece of paper. But we need glue guys. They're the most important people on a team, especially a small team like us. So every week we're going to highlight someone who's just an emphasis of being glue for our squad. And my glue guy this week, I mentioned it earlier, but Sebastian Tobias. Strictly because of, not only was he there for the snow shoveling, I think both days, if I'm not mistaken, showed up with Coach DeLuca before me, drove me over to Nate's, but also he was at the pickup basketball. He was balling out in pickup basketball. He was there during the table tennis. He was balling out in ping pong. He was just always a figure, and he was just keeping the squad together, bringing the good vibes, and he is such a fun guy to be around because he's got, if anyone listened to the Sebastian Tobias episode, which if you haven't, you have to. It is one of our best episodes that we've ever done. But you get that sense of, like, there's just something different about him, and I love it.
Yep.
I love it. He fires me up. So, absolutely, hands down, he was my glue guy this week. Who's going to be your honorable mention?
My honorable mention is Dylan McManus. Was not here in the fall. Came back kind of by surprise, kind of by rumor, Everybody had a little idea that he might, still be coming back this year, but we didn't know if it was official or not. It's official. So, yeah, that was sick. He came back, and, he's not expecting shit. right? He's coming into the team. Obviously, he was here last year, knows all of us already, but it's just great to have him back, right? Looks fresh. Wearing number 2. He not too happy about that, but kid looks good.
He does.
Hasn't skipped a beat.
And I think you hit the nail on the head where he came back, and he was our conference player of the year last year.
Yeah.
Like, he's a stud. We'll say it. But you would not be able to tell that he's had so much success here because he's so bought into, like, this is a different team.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I wasn't here in the fall, but I'm ready to mold myself into what we need for this group. And that is what fires me up.
Like, it was so funny to me in the locker room before we started playing box. He was, like, asking questions, and we're like, oh, yeah, you've never done this before. Holy cow, like, you've never done this.
And he picks it up right away.
Yeah.
And again, on team number 3, taking home his first championship. So shout out D-Mac and Seb, our 2 glue guys of the week. And everyone keep posted. Maybe we'll have like, so my idea for this too is we get like a bottle of Elmer's glue.
Yeah.
And we give it to our glue guy of the week every week. And we post it on our story. I think that'd be a sick idea. And they can hold on to the bottle, or they like, I don't know, we'll figure something out for that.
I agree.
But that was just an idea that I came up with on my walks of enlightenment. But now another idea that happened on my walks of enlightenment, I guess. Moment of the week. And I'm going to pass this one over to Nick because he's been waiting for a while to share this story.
I shared it with you yesterday because I just couldn't contain myself anymore because it was too funny. But I believe this was Tuesday, and you got back. I saw your car pull in or something, but I was getting ready to leave, and I saw like your car was here, and I was like, oh shit, like you must have just pulled in. So I saw you end up like walking over to the mailbox, and I was like, all right, cool. So I grabbed like my keys, whatever, and this is about a minute later after I saw you outside, and I didn't see you. So I'm like, all right, he's probably walking up the stairs. I'm going to leave. We're going to pass each other. And if for people that obviously, like, we don't talk about this much, but, like, I scare the shit out of Fridge, right? Like, it'll be a normal day, like, super calm in the afternoon, and Fridge turns a corner. I'm just there, and he's the most scared he's ever been in his life.
I just don't expect it.
Yeah.
Like, I think the one time, this was last week, where I didn't know you were back. Like, I saw your doors open. I assumed you had left. And I just, like, came out of my room, and you were in the kitchen. And I wasn't expecting you. And I was just, like, on my phone. I looked up, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing right there?
Yeah.
Little things. I got to have my guard up.
Yeah. And I don't, like, sometimes I'll make noise, but, like, that time I literally just, like, slowly turn to you. And you're just like, oh, my goodness. But, yeah, so I thought that since I didn't see you outside, you must have been walking up the stairs. And when I walked out the front door of our apartment and I went to close our door, I heard footsteps in the stairwell. And I was like, ooh. So I didn't close our door all the way because I didn't want you to hear and be like, Nick's going to scare me. So I just, like, left it a little bit cracked. And I get into, like, a little, like, kung fu, like, pose, right? And as I, like, get down and, like really, like, get into it, right? This older woman just walks through the doorway. And, like, we make eye contact. And, like, I'm full on posed. And I quickly snap out of it, and I'm just like, oh, hello. And she's like, hi. And she just, like, keeps walking. And, like, I'm, like, trying to, like, contain my laughter. And, like, she's giggling. And I, like, close the door real fast because, like, now I'm just, like, embarrassed. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Close it, lock. I don't even think I locked. I think I left it open for her because I knew you were coming up. And I'm like, all right, I'm leaving. As I'm walking downstairs, I see you at the bottom of the stairs, and I literally say to you, yeah, I just got my moment of the week. And I'm like, I was going to tell you then, and you were like, you got to save it. And I was like, all right. And I think I ended up telling you yesterday or the day before because I just, like I said, I couldn't contain it. It was too funny. Oh, dude, that's top 5.
I wish that we had, like, a security camera footage of it.
Oh, my God.
'Cause I would pay to see that.
Dude.
And that would be such good content to, like, just post on Instagram. It's like
Yeah, like, she didn't get mad or anything. She thought it was funny. And I'm like, I can only imagine how that looked from her point of view.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. Like, I'm full on kung fu.
I'm just, like, in ninja mode. Like,
I'm like, thank God I didn't like scream. Imagine I'm in kung fu, in like a kung fu stance, and I scream at her as she like walked out of the doorway. Dude, that would have. Oh,
that would have been amazing. Because
Dude,
the one time you like went full blown like on your stomach as I was going up the stairs, and then like jumped up and made some like random noise, and it truly like made me jump out of my shoes. I can only imagine what a stranger would do if you just like attacked them. And then they're just like,
I didn't attack her if she thought she was being attacked.
But like if you just like made a random noise like,
yeah, dude, that was hilarious. When I laid down, I saw you coming. I just like got into a prone, and then you opened the door and I jumped at you. That was funny.
I think that was your moment of the week that week too.
It had to have been.
I don't know how I can follow that up, and I'm gonna go the complete opposite route because mine is way more serious.
I thought you were gonna say like sad.
No. My moment of the week is gonna be from practice today, and it is right after we stretch, and we started doing this on Saturday actually, where PJ had the idea of right before practice, we're gonna bring everyone together nice and tight in a circle and kind of just like, you know, instead of, we usually just like get in a giant huddle, but this time fully like how we do it on our pre-games, where everyone's touching each other and we're just enjoying each other's presence. So we do that again today. PJ says a great thing, and I'll actually shout out Jaw from Saturday because he had a great message to us before that kind of like captain's workout about like, hey, this is where it starts. Like, this is going to be a long process. We got to buy in and we got to work for each other. And he like got choked up a little bit saying it, and I was like, fuck yeah, Joe. Fuck yeah. Today, PJ finishes his thing. He kept it short and sweet. He opened the floor. Anyone got anything? And I'd been thinking about this throughout stretching. I mentioned the quote that I put on the board, and I'd been thinking about that and how it's like, you know, we're digging our roots right now. And I thought about how, yeah, there's people that fell over and we're the ones standing, and we're in the eye of the storm right now. Like, we have two options. Like, we're going to fall over too, or we're going to stay strong and we're going to dig deeper and we're going to do our thing. Yeah. So I kind of like came up with this plan in my head, this script that I was going to go through. And I was a little nervous because I don't know if I've ever told this story on here, but my senior year of high school in summer ball, we were at a tournament. This was during COVID. This was our last summer like club lacrosse activity that we ever did. We were going into like the championship game playing Seattle Stars, and we'd never beaten Stars. And in the pregame, like I was one of our captains, so I brought us in, and I was like going on this like big pregame speech of like, this is what we've been working for years. Like, those motherfuckers think they're better than us. We know that they're not better than us. All this, we're gonna go out and we're gonna stomp on their. We're gonna stomp on we're gonna stomp on their throat. I totally just like completely went reverb where I just couldn't spit out the word. And it was hilarious. Like, Drew Snyder was one of the coach working with us, and he, like, as I'm just struggling, he's like, yeah, just like getting everyone super pumped. And we left the huddle, and I was like, that was such a fail. Like, I fucked up. So I didn't want that to happen at like our first practice back. And so I was super proud when I got through the entire thing, kind of got to my point really fast. I saw a couple people, and I asked you when I came back, I was like, so did that kind of hit? Like, did the message get across?
It was nice.
Because I looked at Nate immediately, and he started smiling because I was like, I wrote this quote on the board, and he was like, you fucking nerd, of course you did. And I told him all about it. And then he saw where I was going, and he was like, okay, I'd fuck with that. And I ended it where it's like, we're in the eye of the fucking storm. We gotta dig deep and make this the best fucking year of our lives. And then we brought in, braked, and I was like, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah,
so
that was nice.
There's my moment of the week.
There we go.
Now to our last segment.
Yeah.
El Fin. And this is where we go to our draft. And this is also where, unfortunately...
I have a really good idea.
What's your idea?
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a little bit hard.
Okay.
If we should do athletes with fish names.
There's no way you just said that. Because on Wednesday, when we dropped our last episode, we made a plea for people to text us ideas of drafts. And I got a text from Tom Fridge.
No way.
I got a text from Tom Fridge. I'm going to pull up the receipt right now from my dad. And he was like, good top 5 idea. Athletes with fish names. I swear to God.
Athletes with fish names. No way your dad said that, and I just thought of it.
That's crazy. I feel like that would be a little bit tough, though.
Only person I can really think of is like Mike Trout.
Yeah. I mean, he was saying like Ray Allen, like Stingray. I don't know if there's 10 guys. Also, Kansas City Chiefs are officially in the AFC Championship. Bills had a late missed field goal. That was tough to watch. That was really tough to watch.
Crazy.
Yes. So I have this draft bank that I've created out of some of the ideas that we've either heard that have been sent to us or whatever. And one of them that I got from the other side of my family, Denise, sent over the idea of walkout songs or like pregame warm-up songs.
Okay, I can vibe with that.
We could also maybe dip into, we talked about last week, the top 5 inventions of all time, modern inventions.
All right, easily. I'll do that.
So I think I'd say let's go with inventions because we can save walkout songs.
All right.
So start brainstorming. So I already have some ideas.
So rock paper scissors in this bitch.
Here we go. I forget where somebody was doing rock paper scissors this week, and I was like, Black Lounge fashion.
Oh, me and Petey did it. What's it called?
Box.
Yeah.
And
it hit off Petey's stick, but he accused me of it hitting off my stick. I don't think it hit off my stick. So we left it to rock paper scissors, and I won. And I told him, I'm like, it never lies.
And also, I told him, he always goes paper. Which is just not true because, well, no, you went paper there and he went rock. And you won it. And I just made like a lie where it's like, he always does that. You don't watch the Lax Lounge. But
here we go.
Let's see if he goes paper. See, now it's weird because like we're pointing away from each other, I guess. Actually, how about this? There. I fixed it. I'm so smart. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. He always goes paper.
We just talked about this.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Bang. All right, 1-1. Here we go. For the win. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Yeah! 2 in a row, baby.
Yeah, 2 in a row.
Undefeated in 2024. So for my first pick in do we want to go modern inventions or just inventions of all time?
Inventions of all time seems legit.
So I am going to go ahead and take the invention that kind of started civilization, really. This is commonly referred to as like a major historic event. I'm going with the wheel.
Yeah, that's the right answer. That's the right number one.
Revolutionized agriculture, revolutionized transportation nowadays. The whole debate is there more doors or wheels in the world? I think there might be more wheels because there's so many just little things inside of everything that involves a wheel. Gear, that's a wheel.
Yeah, I'd agree.
At the concept.
So my number one's going to be the camera, for obvious reasons.
As communication majors, we know that firsthand.
Yes. I do not count, so you cannot say fire.
You can't say like natural stuff.
You can't say natural stuff. Yes.
Like water. We didn't invent water.
We did not invent
We
water.
figured out how to master water.
Yes.
Some of us. And then, like, as you said with fire, we figured out how to create fire, but we didn't invent it.
Yeah.
Somebody else did that. With my second overall pick, I'm going to take something that we actually wouldn't really be able to do this without this concept. I'm going written language.
Wow.
Written language, humanity invented. We went from just grunting and kind of making these noises to we decided, and I always think about this in my head, like, who was the first person who was like, yo, fellas, let's start to, like, get on the same page with stuff. Like, when I grunt twice, that means I love you. When I do this, it means this. And when we went to, I'm going to specifically call it cuneiform, or cuneiform, whatever it was, in Mesopotamia, first written form of language, revolutionized everything. Because then you can start chronologing, writing down history.
Yeah.
And that is where written history comes from. So we wouldn't know about anything without written language, and we wouldn't. My career wouldn't exist as a journalist without written language.
Yeah, sure.
Number 2 overall pick.
You're not wrong. So my number 2, way more violent than yours. I'm going with the gun. We're talking about important modern inventions. The gun, I believe it's been around for, at this point, 400 years.
Yeah.
Probably since, gunpowder.
Gunpowder was ancient China, so that was a while ago.
A while ago. But I don't know if they were shooting guns. They more so had, like crossbows and shit like that. Yeah, but the gun. The gun is my number 2.
That's a good pick. It revolutionized modern warfare as well.
Yeah.
With my 3rd pick, I'm going to take something that, again, we wouldn't be able to do this without. I am taking the internet.
It's a great pick.
You can't do any of your schoolwork. Well, actually, you could, theoretically. But our school is almost completely online. We would not be able to do any of that without it. It has revolutionized. We have a computer right here.
True
that we're writing down our draft on. That we're recording this interaction, and it's all going on the internet.
Yeah.
Number 3 pick.
My number 3 pick is going to be the combustible engine.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a really good one. Transportation has never been the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it a lot. I have an idea of what I could go. That might be an honorable mention. I'm gonna take the light bulb.
Yeah.
I think the light bulb.
I had that on my list and then I deleted it.
So I stand behind that because it allowed us to expand what we could do, I would say.
100%.
Like, we are now more productive because we have our own sources of light that we can bring with us that isn't fire, which could be dangerous and could lead to fires, even though technically, like, a light bulb could lead to a fire too. But either way, shout out Thomas Edison. We're going with the light bulb.
Number 4, I'm going to take the airplane.
Oh, yep. Okay, that's another one. So you're getting some good stuff on your board. I'm gonna go number 5. There's a couple directions I could go here. I want to take government.
I like that.
The idea of government. Because we decided that there's chaos, there's disorder, and we're going to bring order to that with government. And it's like in every single society that has been successful, there has, I mean, no matter what you feel about this, there's been a hierarchy, and there's been like a leader who is able to take command and lead people to the promised land. So I am going to take the modern idea of government because I think our society would be very different without it.
Yeah, that's a good one. So my number 5, I don't want this to be a part 2, but it kind of, they go hand in hand, so like you can't really have the one without having the other, and it wouldn't make sense. I have running water and the sewage system.
Okay, so yeah, I would say just kind of like the sewage system overall.
Yeah.
Like how that works.
Yeah.
Which, one of my honorable mentions, now that we're there, I was thinking of saying the aqueduct, which is like a huge way that we were able to kind of revolutionize what we were saying about like transporting water.
Yeah, that led me there.
Yeah. And like our modern piping system. The other one, the Gutenberg printing press.
Mm-hmm.
Johannes Gutenberg.
100%.
That's always a trivia question that I see a lot. But that is how we have newspapers. That's how we have Wax Lunch t-shirts, which I'm not even wearing. I'm wearing a Boise State t-shirt. Shout out Boise State. Another invention that we love, I love, football.
I like electricity.
I was thinking about that, electricity.
I love lacrosse.
Basketball. What's other like actual important stuff? I was gonna say the sword or like the shield, because shields, like that was a big thing in warfare when that showed up.
Anti-armor, or like what's that one? Like tanks have it. I guess like anti-missile armor.
Okay, yeah. Steel, like steel armor.
The nuclear bomb.
The nuke. That's a good one.
Pretty nuts.
Monumental.
The fake tree.
Fake tree for Christmas.
Not even for Christmas. We have a fake tree in the corner over there.
We do. You're correct.
It's more of just a plant, not a tree.
Vaccines.
I was
gonna say
penicillin was a mistake, and I'm allergic to it, but saves millions of lives.
Same.
Allergic to penicillin club.
Off-camera dap.
Yeah.
No blue cheese, but
hats are pretty cool.
Clothing in general especially this time of year. Staying warm, very important.
Air conditioning.
Air conditioning, absolutely. Heaters.
Doors.
Houses.
Cement.
We could go on for hours. You know what? Greek fire. Something that we've lost to history. The most dangerous weapon of all time.
Greek fire.
Yeah. It was like this crazy thing that the Greeks had, and it was like this mixture of a bunch of different chemicals, and it's just been rumored to have like destroyed anything.
Wow.
And it's awesome. Also, what is it? I think Roman concrete.
Roman concrete, yeah,
That's another big thing.
Yeah, it's volcanic ash, water, sand.
And that's like, we think that's what it is.
It's like there has to be other shit in there.
There has to be, because stuff is still standing today.
Yeah.
That should not be standing. Architecture in general.
I would say
invention of
steel.
that.
Steel is a huge
Bronze.
invention. The Bronze
Yeah,
Age.
Bronze Age. The
Iron Age. Bronze Age. Stone Age. I would say architecture.
Just overall, yeah.
Yeah, architecture.
That could be another draft, like top 5 or the best like buildings or like works of
Give me the
architecture.
Taj.
Give me the fucking pyramids, man.
Well, yeah, but
And that was
Taj-
aliens, you're right.
The Taj is pretty cool. The building in Russia, I just learned about that the other
Kremlin.
day. The Kremlin, fire. I didn't realize it was built before Columbus sailed his ocean blues.
Yeah, Russian history is actually fascinating.
It really is.
When you look into it, because they've
Yep.
been sneaky around for a while.
A long time.
A long time.
Long time.
What was I just going to say? Burj Khalifa, tallest building in the world. The Eiffel Tower was pretty fucking dope.
Yeah.
Stonehenge. I would give
Yup.
Stonehenge an honorable mention.
100%.
I'm gonna put that in the draft bank as something that we can do. And while we do that, let's do a little recap of our top 5 inventions of all time.
Shit.
So I kicked us off. Number 1, I think the unanimous number 1 pick, the wheel.
Yep.
Then I went with written language. I think that's a real good 1-2 punch right there. The internet coming in as that third guy, the small forward, the light bulb, a little different direction, maybe a controversial take, but I think it's good. And then the last one, definitely a little controversial, but government, because I think that all of these have led to modern civilization right now and helped us to be successful.
I would agree with you.
I like my squad.
I have the camera. Pictures say 1,000 words. Without a camera, you can't take a picture. The gun. Changed warfare. Some would say for the better, some would say for the worst, but it changed history as a whole. The combustible engine. You need to get from place A to place B. You hop in your car. That car has a combustible engine for the past probably 130 years. Now we have electric cars, so But one of the greatest inventions of all time. The airplane. Imagine taking a boat for 6 months to go to Paris.
Imagine driving 2 days to get here.
Imagine.
That's what I would have to do.
Imagine. Instead, you hop on a plane. It's a couple hours. Yes, you are 25,000 feet above the sky at your height. And yeah, if something goes wrong, you have a really, really high chance of dying. But it's a super low percentage.
It's an interesting way to defend your pick. Yeah, you could die, but the odds of that happening are very low. Same with you also have the gun.
Extremely low.
They are very low.
Guns don't kill people. People kill people.
I'm 100% on my flights so far in life.
There you go. So am I. Still here.
Knock on wood.
Love that. And then lastly, I have the sewage system.
I think that's your strongest pick for the value.
I would agree. Yeah, for the value of it.
Getting that at the end is a great cherry on top.
Yeah, and I'm pissed I had the light written down, but yeah, I ended up deleting it, and you got that one. It's a great pick. Thank you, Tommy Edison.
Yes, and Nikola
Tesla. Huge. One of the most forgotten when it comes to his brilliance.
Indeed. There was another guy who's pretty brilliant that we happen to be very good friends with, and who is the creme de la creme of a Lax Lounge episode. Everybody is always excited to wait for the end in this moment because we have one person
This gets special
that we need to shout out, and that is our boy, Jules.
Shout out, Jules.
Shout out, Jules. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We'll be back and better than ever next week with more Cabrini Men's Lax updates. Stay tuned.
Yes, sir.
Because we're burning the fucking boats.
We are burning them.
Have a good one.
Conquer or die.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
I be up in the cloud, but I won't come down cause I be too faded. Everybody wanna walk that talk, wanna talk that talk like we made it. But they all gon' cap, swear to God I'll make the money right back. Bitches be trippin', don't know how to act. You just be singing, don't know how to rap. I really be running this shit like I'm Owen. She like a wave, I'm loving her motion. It's like I'm sipping straight up on the potion. Water be dripping and feel like the ocean. I know that I'm different cause I'm from the other side. She's saying that she want me, girl, that's capping, girl, you lie. Everything I ever did, all I do is right. You could never say it cause you switched up and you lie. Yeah. Had to switch up and you lie. Yeah, I be stargazing, I be up in the clouds, but I won't come down cause I be too faded. Everybody wanna walk that talk, wanna talk that talk like we made it. But they all gon' cap, swear to God I'll make the money right back. Bitches be trippin', don't know how to act.